G'day guys, what's going on and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. Now today we're doing something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be trying to predict who will be each club's best player in 2021. Pretty much who will be each club's 2021 best and fairest. So it's going to be hard to predict, but I'm going to give it my best shot. These are just my personal opinions pretty much on who I think will be the best player from each club in 2021. But yeah, let's see how it goes. And if I get these magically right, that would be amazing. This isn't a part of my obviously official predictions. They'll be out soon because the season is going to be starting very soon. So keep an eye out for my official predictions video, which will be coming very soon. But yeah, let's get straight into the video. Right, so we're obviously going to be doing this in alphabetical order. So we're going to start off with the Adelaide Crows. My prediction for the Adelaide Crows player that's going to be the best and fairest for the Adelaide Crows is either Matt Crouch or Lachie Sholl. Two great players for the Crows. Obviously Brad Crouch has left Adelaide to be with St Kilda now. But, you know, he's still a great player. He's still going to work well in the midfield, and he's just going to have to work double as hard because his brother Brad is gone. But he's still a great player, Matt Crouch. We've seen it throughout multiple years now. And Lachie Sholl, obviously unlucky to get a Rising Star nomination when Isaac Quaynor did, but he is a great player. He's just worked out to be a brilliant player for the Crows, knows what he's doing, looks professional, and yeah, so it's between Matt Crouch and Lachie Sholl for me to win the Crows 2021 best and fairest. In next is the Brisbane Lions. Now this one is kind of obvious. We can, you know, probably all see it happening, but it's either for me between Lachie Neale or Dane Zorko. Two great players for the Lions. Lachie Neale, obviously a star, an absolute star, winning the Brownlow medal, so I can't really see it being won by anyone else in the Lions uniform. Lachie Neale's just a star player, turns it on when needs be, same as Dane Zorko. He's got that magic about him, Zorko, so really, for me, it's between Zorko or Lachie Neale to win the best and fairest for the Brisbane Lions. Now, coming in next is Carlton, and they, I still believe, haven't done their 2020 friggin' best and fairest, so I may as well predict that, and I'm just kidding. But in 2021, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I think it's going to be between Walsh, Cripps, or Zach Williams. I think Zach Williams is a great inclusion for the club. I really feel like he's a great player and he's a great pickup for Carlton, but I really feel like it's going to be between Walsh, Cripps, or Williams. I think the Blues are going to be relying on those players heavily in the 2021 season, but you know, they're a great you know, team orientated club, Carlton are, so there could be like a surprise in there, but really for me it's between Walsh, Cripps, or Williams, because Williams, we all know what a good player he is, and yeah, I think it's really going to be between those three. Next is Collingwood, my club, and I think the 2021 Best and Fairest Award will either go to Steele Sidebottom or Taylor Adams. Taylor Adams is a great footballer, hard as nails, loves to win the ball, and we all know what Steele Sidebottom can do out there on a footy field with a bit of magic. He just creates goals out of nothing. He's a great player, slippery player. So yeah, for me, it's either Taylor Adams or Steele Sidebottom to win the best and fairest for Collingwood in 2021. Coming in next is Essendon, and I think it's going to be between three players for the Bombers. It's going to be between Merritt, Parrish, or Shield. They all play some great brands of football. They all are very talented, and you know, I feel like the Bombers rely on them a lot, and they rack up a lot of disposals for the Bombers, even if the Bombers don't get the job done. But they are three very talented players, and I really think it's just going to be between them three to get the best and fairest for the Bombers. And I also think little tiny Smokey Devon Smith, he can play a good game here and there, but he doesn't really have that consistency of good games, you know. So I really feel like it's going to be between Parrish, Shield, or Merritt to win the 2021 best and fairest for the Bombers. Next we have the Fremantle Dockers. Now for this one, I've had to really dig deep to have a guess at who's going to win the best and fairest for the Freo Dockers 2021, and I've come up with this. I think Luke Ryan is either going to go back to back, or I feel like Angus Brayshaw will win the best and fairest. I just like the way that Angus Brayshaw plays. He really goes in there. He's a really tough nut player, like his brother. And yeah, I really like the way Angus Brayshaw goes about it. It would be a surprise to see him win the best and fairest, but who knows. But yeah, Luke Ryan obviously came up this year and was a star player to win the best and fairest for the Dockers. So yeah, he could be smoky to win it 2 years in a row. So yeah, Luke Ryan or Angus Brayshaw to win it for the Dockers in 2021. Coming in next is the GWS Giants, and I think it's either going to be Lachie Whitfield or Josh Kelly, 2-star players for the Giants, and they really just go about their business very well, very professional. We all know how good Lachie Whitfield and Josh Kelly are, so I feel like it's just going to be a battle between them. Lachie Whitfield off the halfback line, he is a great player, and obviously Josh Kelly in the midfield for the Giants does what he does, and he just gets the job done week in, week out. Obviously didn't have the best season in 2020, but if things go back to normal in 2021, which fingers crossed they do, I can see Josh Kelly getting back up to his best. And obviously Lachie Whitfield had a great season in 2020, so I feel like he can just elevate if things get back to normal this season, which, like I said before, fingers crossed they do. So yeah, it's between Josh Kelly and Lachie Whitfield for me, for the Giants, best and fairest. Next up, I have the Geelong Cats, or we have the Geelong Cats, and I think in 2021 it's going to be between Guthrie, Duncan, and, putting this name out there, Guthrie, Duncan, and Menegola. They all play some great footy for the Cats. They, perform week in, week out, especially Mitch Duncan. If I had to put it in a row, it'd probably be Mitch, Guthrie, Menegola. But yeah, I feel like they just play some really good footy for the Cats. They're consistent with their football week in, week out. They can have a bad game here and there, but they're mostly consistent for the Cats. And yeah, coming in next is the Gold Coast Suns, and let's be real, if he doesn't get injured this year, it's going to be Matt Rowell, absolute star player. Well, was a star player for the 3 or 2 games that he played in the 2020 season. We could all see how good he was. But if he gets injured, I'm going to put it between Collins and Greenwood. I really like the way that those two go about their footy business for the Suns. And yeah, I feel like they could be a smoky if Matt Rowell doesn't play a full season. They play really good footy for the Suns, very consistent. Both of them love winning the ball and all that. So I feel like it's going to be between Collins and Greenwood to win the best and fairest if Matt Rowell gets injured, which fingers crossed he doesn't. Coming in next is the Hawthorn Hawks, and in the 2021 season, I think it's going to be between Mitchell and Worpel. I think they're going to be back to their, best in 2021. I feel like there were some games where Worpel and Mitchell didn't have their best outings. But I feel like if things get back to normal, like I said before with other players, I feel like they'll just be back to their best. I feel like they'll rank up the disposals, do all the good things that they usually do. Yeah, so I realistically think that it's going to be between Tom Mitchell and James Worpel. Coming in next is the Melbourne Demons, and I think it's going to be between Petrarca, Oliver, and Ed Langdon. I really like the way that they go about their footy business. I really feel like they just really hunt the ball well. They really just love getting disposals on their board. Sometimes their disposals aren't the best, but I really like the way they go about it. They hunt the footy, they try to win the ball back for the Ds, and they just find the space. They can kick a few goals here and there. I like the way that Langdon uses the wing. He's a great player on the wing for the Ds, can sometimes go on the midfield, but he's a great wingman for the Ds. And then you got Petrarca and Oliver, who just do their stuff, who just are a brute midfield duo. So yeah, I feel like it's between Ed Langdon, Petrarca, or Oliver. I don't really have multiple players for North Melbourne, but I feel like Jai Simpkin, this will be the year that he wins the best and fairest for North Melbourne. I really feel like he was unlucky to win it last year because he had a few great games in the back end of the season. Obviously you got a counter in the full season, but I really feel like it was better than Luke McDonald, who won it. But I feel like this year he'll go up a notch with his disposals, with his midfield tempo, and I feel like he will be able to win the best and fairest for North Melbourne in 2021. Coming in next is the Port Adelaide Power, and I feel like it's going to be between these 3 players, Jonas, Boak, and Wines. I feel like we all just know how good of footballers they are. Very talented players. Obviously, Boak's been in the mix of it for a few years now, and he just knows what to do. He's really professional in the midfield, just goes about it well. Then you got to play like Wine, strong-bodied midfield player who loves hunting the ball, who knows what to do with it. To do with the ball when he gets it. And then you got to play like Jonas, who controls the back line. He's a great player. He just controls the tempo of the back line and just knows what he's doing. And yeah, so I really feel like it's between those three players to get the job done for the Power to contest for the best and fairest for the Power in 2021. Coming in next is Richmond, and I feel like it's going to be between these players. I feel like it's going to be between Martin, Liam Baker, Trent Cotchin, and Jaden Short. All had good years in 2020, and I feel like if things get back to normal, like I said before again, that they can have a even better year. Obviously, Martin is a great player, so he doesn't really need to have a better year than he did last year. He's obviously a great player at his own will. But yeah, Cotchin didn't really have the best of years in 2020, so I feel like he'll rise back up again in 2021. And then Jaden Short and Liam Baker had very, very good years in 2020, and I feel like they can step it up a notch in 2021 as well, especially Liam Baker coming into the side last year, I think it was. I don't know, please remind me. But yeah, he was a great player for the Tigers, so I feel like he can, contest for the best and fairest for the Tigers this year. Next, we have the St Kilda Saints, and I feel like it's going to be between Steele, Caulfield, and Hunter Clark to win the best and fairest for the Saints in 2021. Acted really well in the 2020 season. I feel like they just played some great football in the 2020 season, all three players, and I feel like they, like other players that I've said before, will take it to another level in 2021, maybe to even push the Saints further up the ladder in 2021. If things are back to normal this year, then I feel like they can definitely just take it in their stride and push themselves to another level this year and really challenge for the best and fairest for the Saints in 2021. And next we have the Sydney Swans, and I feel like I'm going to put it down to one player. I'm going to put it down to Jake Lloyd. Had an amazing season in 2020, and I feel like he's going to back it up in 2021 to get the best and fairest job done for the Sydney Swans. Great player, just knows what to do with the footy, knows where to be when he doesn't have the footy, controls a bit of the tempo of the game as well. So he's a great player for the Swans, well picked up. But who knows, maybe one of their new recruits, Logan McDonald, could be up there, but I don't know if he will be or not. But I feel like Jake Lloyd will definitely be back up there in the 2021 season. And then we lead to the final two, the Eagles and the Dogs. Now in the 2021 season, it's very tough for the Eagles because they've got a great midfield, great forward line. But in the 2021 season, I feel like it's going to be between Tim Kelly, Andrew Gaff, and maybe just Andrew Gaff and Tim Kelly. I feel like they will step it up a notch in 2021. I feel like both of them didn't have the best seasons that they could have in 2020. It was a weird year, let's be real, so a lot of star players weren't playing to the best of their capabilities. But in 2021, I feel like Tim Kelly can just take it up a notch, can go back to that great form that he had back in Geelong and really just motivate himself to get up the leaderboard in the 2021 best and fairest for the Eagles. And I feel like Andrew Gaff, we all know how great of a player he is, racks up the disposals in the midfield, so I feel like he'll be a smoky to win the 2021 best and fairest for the Eagles. Last but not least, we have the Western Bulldogs, who have an absolute stack midfield. But who do I think it's going to be? I feel like it's going to be between Bontempelli, McRae, and Caleb Daniel. I feel like they're going to be the best players for the Dogs in 2021. I feel like because we're going to be getting back to normal, fingers crossed again, that they will, bring back that A game that they had, especially Bontempelli. I don't feel like he had the best year in 2020, so I feel like he will be back up in the ranks in 2021. And obviously you got McRae and Daniels, who had great seasons in 2020, and I feel like they'll step forward, shall I say, and do the same thing in 2021. Maybe even go one better, maybe even play even better in 2021. But I feel like it's going to be between the Bont, Daniel, and McRae to win the best and fairest for the Dogs in 2021. Anyway guys, that's all we have time for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Cheers.